Welcome to How to Launch Your E-Learning Checklist, Introduction to Appropriate Behaviour. E-Learning Checklist was developed to deliver training on how employees can build and maintain a respectful workplace free of harassment and discrimination. The checklist is available to all enableHR account holders and uses the functionality in our self-service portal to complete the training modules. Any employee, contractor, or volunteer, also known as worker records, can have access to self-service. In this video, we'll demonstrate how to access and launch the e-learning checklist in your enableHR account, how to provide your workers access to self-service, how to send training out to multiple workers at the same time, and how to run reports to track what modules your workers have completed. Next, you should see an enableHR account in front of you. And we're going to cover how to access the e-learning checklist. From the home screen, you'll need to navigate to Employee Management button in the middle of the page and click. The checklist menu items will appear and you'll need to scroll down as the e-learning checklist is at the very bottom of the list. Click and then select Commence. From here, you'll be able to select either your volunteer, contractor, or an employee you'd like to initiate the checklist against. Click their name, and the checklist will open up. The first step in the checklist is launching the training modules. You'll need to click Go. Mark as complete. This step is now launched and you'll see the first module has now been launched against your worker. Now, if your employees do not have access to self-service, we have a few options for you. So let's navigate back to the home screen. Most accounts will already have launched the system to their employees or their workers, and they have access to self-service already. However, if this is not the case and you'd like to initiate self-service registration, we have a few options for you. The first option can be done by sending an email to your worker, which includes a unique registration link for your business. You can locate this link by going to the Settings, Account Settings, and navigating to the Commercial tab. Here you'll find your unique link that you can copy and paste in an email that you send to your employees. The system will locate your account and match your employee's email address to the one they have against their worker record in their account. Once confirmed, they'll have access to self-service. Sending this link in an email allows you to launch this to a group of workers. Or you can also just send it to an individual worker, especially a new worker in your organization, where you can add information and context in an email about self-service, as well as the importance of the training. The second option for initiating self-service registration is actually via the checklist. You'll notice if I go back to the checklist, it's indicated with ESS on the end. This shows that the checklist has a built-in self-service registration notification that's sent to an employee, contractor, or volunteer who have not yet registered for self-service. Once they register via their email notification, they set up a secure password and gain access to self-service. They can then complete the training modules. This option works best if you want to launch training to an individual in your organization who may have already got self-service or not. Remember, the checklist will trigger the registration. However, in this instance, it's important to note that there's no other supporting email introducing self-service or the training module. Now, to send training out to multiple workers at the same time, we're going to navigate back to the home screen. On the home screen, you may or may not be able to see a tab called Bulk Launch Checklist. This depends on your user access roles that you've been provisioned with. If you cannot see this option on your account and you feel you should, then please reach out to your account administrator in your organization. Or you can contact client support to help with having this permission applied. If you are an account administrator, you can apply a specific user access role called Bulk Launch Checklist yourself. To do this, go to the settings area at the very top right-hand corner of the screen. Click usernames and passwords. Select your name, your username from the Users tab, and click the Access Control tab. You'll notice here a list of user access roles that have been provisioned to your access already. And this is the permission you need to have checked against your user access. It's called the Bulk Launch Checklist. If you don't have it, you'll be able to click Edit and select it and update. As an account administrator, you can apply that provision and that permission to any other user you have on your list. Now that we've got access to Bulk Launch, the next step is to check whether your worker records have access to self-service. And we can actually do that quickly as a quick overview under the user administration page, clicking the ESS Users tab. Here you'll see a long list of all the people that have access to self-service within your account. The other option is you can run a report. If you navigate over to the left-hand side, click the reporting module, select self-service at the very bottom here, then select self-service users. Fill in your parameters and click Generate. This will provide a report with your record names, whether they have access to self-service, and their first and most recent login timestamps. So when you're conducting a bulk launch, if you have workers that have not yet registered for self-service, it's probably best to send them an email containing the unique self-service registration link to initiate. The bulk launch process does have the ability for you to untick or unselect the workers with no email addresses, and I'll show you that shortly. So once you have access to bulk launch and you know who has access to self-service and who doesn't, then you can initiate a bulk launch checklist. Click the Bulk Launch Checklist tab, click Create a new bulk launch. You can name your bulk launch. Click Next. Now we select the checklist. Click Next. Select the record types you wish to send the launch out to. In this instance, I'm going to send it to employees. Click Next. I'm going to select a particular branch. I do have the option of selecting all branches. And under step 5, we can now have a look at the list of employees I've selected for this bulk launch. Now remember, the bulk launch function can only do batches of 20 employees at a time. And also you'll notice it will highlight who has or has not got an email address against their record. and it's highlighted in this yellow box just beneath their name. Now it's highlighted because we know that they, A, do not have an email address, and nor will they have access to self-service. Therefore, it's best to update the record with an email address, and you can click their name link here, which directs you back to their details, and you can update the email address there directly. Or you can simply untick them from this bulk launch. I've deselected everybody because I want to be specific about who I choose for this bulk launch. Once I've selected my employees, I click Next. This page here confirms the bulk launch I'm about to press go on. We have a list of the employees I have selected, and there are some instructions in this box. However, in this instance, please ignore step 1 and step 2, as these functions are not required for this checklist. Once the records have been confirmed, we can click Launch. The final page shows us that the bulk launch has been completed and it's initiated against your list of worker records here. Finally, you may wish to run a report to track what modules your workers have completed so far. To do so, navigate to Reporting. This time, instead of self-service, we're going to navigate to the Workflow category and select the Checklist Task Report. Complete your parameters over here on the right and select your checklist name. Click Generate. This report will show you the names of your employees, their status, the checklist status, as well as the modules, whether they've been completed or not. Well, this brings us to the end of our video. If you require any further assistance of any topics covered in this session, our client support team are here and ready to help. The contact details are on your screen now.